Here's a number the investing industry would rather you never sat with. Pay a professional to beat the market, and over 15 years the odds are about 9 in 10 that they lose, and they don't lose to a smarter human. They lose to a fund that thinks about nothing, picks nothing, and just quietly copies the whole market. Let me show you why the smartest move in investing is to stop trying to win. It feels obvious that an expert should beat a beginner. A fund manager has a finance degree, a team of analysts, a screen full of live data, and all day to study the market. So when they charge you a fee to handpick the best stocks, it sounds completely fair. Surely all that brain power earns its keep. For decades, that promise is exactly what the industry sold. Almost nobody stopped to check whether it was actually true. So let's line them up. An active fund is run by a manager who handpicks stocks, trades often, and tries to beat the market, and charges you around 1% a year for the effort. An index fund does the opposite. It simply buys the whole market and holds it, almost never trades, and charges close to nothing. One is trying to win, the other refuses to even play the picking game. Now watch who actually comes out ahead. Here's what the scoreboard says. Over a single year, roughly 4 in 10 active funds manage to beat their index, basically a coin flip, but stretch the window out and the floor falls away. Over 10 years, only about 15% stay ahead. Over 15 years, it's around 10%. The longer the game runs, the more the so-called experts quietly fall behind the fund that does nothing. Put real money on it. 2 investors each start with $10,000 and leave it for 20 years. One owns a plain index fund that simply tracks the market. The other pays for an active fund that, after its fee and a touch of underperformance, lands a percentage point and a half behind. Year 1, the gap is almost invisible, but it compounds, and by year 20, the quiet index fund is ahead by nearly $10,000, roughly the entire amount they each started with. So why does brain power keep losing? 3 reasons stack up. First, investing is close to a zero-sum game. For every trade that wins, someone on the other side loses. So before costs, the average dollar just earns the market and no more. Second, the fee is subtracted no matter what. Win or lose, that 1% comes out every single year, a permanent headwind. And third, you can't pick tomorrow's winner today. A handful of funds do beat the market, but which ones changes every decade, and past winners rarely repeat. Here's the punchline that ties it together. The market's return belongs to everyone who owns it. An active manager's whole job is to grab more than their share, but as a group they simply can't, because together they basically are the market. So on average they hand you the market's return, and then they hand you the bill. The index fund just skips the bill. So picture 2 investors over an entire career. The first keeps chasing the hot fund, pays a fee every year, and usually trails the market. The second buys the whole market once, pays almost nothing, and just captures whatever the market gives. Doing less on purpose quietly wins. The goal was never to beat the market. It's to own it cheaply and let time do the heavy lifting. So remember 3 numbers. About 1%, what an active fund quietly charges to try and lose. Around 0.04%, what an index fund charges to simply win by not playing, and 10%, roughly how many active funds still beat the market after 15 years. Stop hunting for the genius pick. Buy the whole market, keep your costs near zero, and let time compound.